Hey everyone, today we're jumping into a task that is absolutely fundamental to feeling safe in your own home, changing a lock. I know, it might sound a little intimidating, but trust me, it's a skill that really empowers you to take direct control of your family's safety. So let's get right into it.
It's about so much more than just a piece of metal in a door. It really is about security and practicality. Just think about it for a second. A lost key, maybe an old tenant who never returned theirs, or even just a rusty, worn-out lock. Any of those things can really eat away at your peace of mind. Changing that lock is how you get that feeling back.
Because it all starts with that simple goal, right? Putting a real lock on your peace of mind. We've all felt that little nagging doubt, haven't we? That little voice asking, who else out there might have a key to my house? That's enough to completely undermine that feeling of safety we all deserve to have at home.
But the great news is, you can take that control back. And the very first step is just knowing the signs, learning to recognize when it's really time to make a change.
And honestly, the triggers are pretty crystal clear. Lost your stolen keys? That's a no-brainer. It's also just smart policy after you've had builders or renters in your house. And that old, stiff lock? It's not just annoying, it's a weak spot. And finally, something you might not have thought of, your insurance. A lot of policies require a lock with a BS 361 rating. Think of that as a stamp of approval that says it can stand up to common break-in tactics like drilling or picking.
Okay, so you've decided a change is needed. What's next? Well, you've got to know your hardware. Before you can even think about replacing a lock, you have to know what you're working with. So let's demystify the common types you're likely to find on your doors.
First up, we've got cylinder locks. You'll see these all over the place on modern UPVC and composite doors. Now, the key to real security here is to find models that are specifically anti-snap and anti-pick. But just as important, and I can't stress this enough, is getting the measurement exactly right. If that cylinder sticks out from the door even a tiny bit, it creates a huge vulnerability.
Next up are mortise locks. These are the classic beefy locks you'll find on wooden doors, the ones that are fitted into a pocket cut right into the edge of the door. The single most important thing to remember with these is to look for that BS 3621 kite mark. That little symbol is your guarantee of a high-security lock that's been properly tested. And as you can see, they are not all created equal. The difference is massive. A 5-lever BS 3621 rated lock, that's your fortress for an external door. The much simpler 3-lever version, well, that's really just for internal doors where you need a bit of privacy, not for protecting you from the outside world.
I bet you've seen this one before. It's a rim lock, sometimes called a night latch, and it's mounted right on the inside surface of the door. They're great as an extra layer of security, but here's the pro tip. Make sure you get a deadlocking model. That little feature prevents someone from using the old credit card trick to slip the latch open from the outside.
Now, what about those big glass patio doors? They usually use these complicated multi-point locking systems. But here's a fantastic little secret that could save you a ton of money. If the lock feels stiff or it's just not working right, it's often just the internal gearbox that's worn out. Replacing that one small part is way, way cheaper than swapping out the whole door.
And hey, let's not forget about the rest of your property. Garages, sheds, outbuildings, they need locks that are not only tough but also totally weatherproof. You want to look for heavy-duty padlocks or special cylinder systems that are rated for outdoor use so they don't rust up and seize on you.
All right, so you know the why, and you know the what. Now it's time for the how. And this brings us to the big question. Is this a job you can do yourself, or is it time to call in a pro? Let's figure that out.
That really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And honestly, for most standard lock replacements, like a basic cylinder or a simple rim latch, the answer is yeah, probably. It is a totally manageable DIY project as long as you have the right tools and just a little bit of patience.
And the toolkit for this mission is surprisingly simple. We're talking a good set of screwdrivers, a tape measure to get those critical sizes right, maybe some Allen keys. That graphite spray is great for lubricating the new mechanism before you even install it, and of course, the new lock itself. See? Not nearly as scary as it sounds.
Now, listen up because this is probably the single most important tip in this whole thing. To save yourself a world of frustration and another trip to the hardware store, you have to always take the old lock with you when you go to buy the new one. It is the only foolproof way to guarantee you get an exact match for the size and all the fittings.
But hang on a second. Do you even need to do a full replacement? This little chart makes that decision super easy. You replace if keys are gone for good, if the lock is physically busted, or if you're upgrading your security. But you might be able to just repair it if the mechanism is just a little stiff, needs some lube, or you just need a new key cut.
And let's be honest with ourselves. Your home security is not the place for guesswork. If you get started on the job and you start to feel like you're in over your head, the smartest thing you can do is just stop. There is absolutely no shame in calling a professional locksmith. It's always the right move.
Okay, to wrap things up, let's run through a few rapid-fire tips straight from the locksmiths themselves. These are those little details that can make the difference between a job that's just okay and a job that's done perfectly.
First up, this one is a total game changer, and it will save you so much frustration. Before you tighten down those final screws, test the lock. Put a key in, give it a few turns, and make sure every single key that came in the package works nice and smooth. This 5-second check is everything.
Here's a really critical one for any landlords out there. Always document your key handovers. A simple, signed piece of paper confirming how many keys were issued. It creates a clear security record, and it protects everybody involved.
Next, let's talk about a little maintenance. A lock is a machine, right? And machines need a little care. A quick spritz of graphite lubricant, and please, not oil, into the keyhole once a year will keep everything moving smoothly and can seriously extend the life of your lock.
And for our last tip, something that sounds like pure common sense but is so important we have to say it. That spare key cannot live under the doormat or in a flower pot. Come on, that's the very first place an intruder's going to look. Give a spare to a neighbor you really trust, or better yet, invest in a small, secure lockbox.
So, there you have it. The why, the what, and the how of changing your locks. You now have the knowledge to go look at your own doors and make a really confident decision. The only question left is the one you see right here. Is your front door's lock really up to the job?